Hello everyone, MarkystalVR here. In the last video, I tore into what the current virtual reality industry is facing and isn't doing too hot with. It could be easy to think that we're doomed based on that kind of a forecast, but I hardly think like that. If I did, I wouldn't have brought an Oculus Rift Pt.2 or be investigating solutions in the first place. The problems that the virtual reality market faces are large, but its strengths are just so strong that it's hard to resist believing in it anyway. The big two strengths I see in VR at the moment are its rapid conversion capability of those who try it into enthusiasts, and its unbelievable potential for engagement and its invocation of that potential. Those two are just such powerful things to have that it's almost enough to negate the problems from the last video. Almost. When I say conversion of those who try it, it calls for a problem I probably should have addressed in the last video. Virtual reality suffers from the same problem 3D had in that the mediums we have to advertise to people on a mass scale can't adequately communicate what the virtual reality experience will be like. I can talk to you guys all I want about the Oculus DK2 experience and how I just tried Minecraft in VR, how it's dreamlike and makes you feel like you're there. But you guys can't adequately get a good image of what that is without trying it out for yourself. It's a good point brought up by commenter Nasuko Dragnius, and one that I missed going over. However, I think part of the reason why I didn't go over it is because of the strength that VR has when you do get it to try it. Look up videos of people who are trying things like the Oculus Rift and Project Morpheus, and look at their expressions. Most of them will have their mouths wide open in awe, like if their jaws have been dislocated or be probing at the air and trying to grab things. Afterwards, the vast majority of people will just be relenting on just how unbelievable the experience they had was. Some may even call it the next step for computer experiences. I mentioned in the last video that many more traditional, hardcore gamer types and enthusiasts are mistreating virtual reality as a gimmick. While I hate even uttering VR and gimmick in the same sentence, it gives me a mischievous sense of satisfaction. Because I know when they try an HMD for the first time, they'll be eating their words and grasping at straws to contextualize the feelings they had. To people who are uninitiated, it's just a treat to see people having their minds blown in front of us, and I think that the fact that I've seen so many people in most videos and in my own personal experience just have their minds blown, that it gives me a bit of extra sense of reassurance that virtual reality has a very strong future. I've had over 20 people try out the Oculus Rift DK2 under my purview. Only 2 didn't absolutely go nuts, and that's because their eyesight was so bad they couldn't take advantage of the Rift's optics. That optics problem is a relatively solvable situation. I suppose the point I'm trying to get at here is that while you may not know what to expect going into virtual reality when you finally do try it out, you tend to immediately be a supporter. I don't think any medium I've ever heard of before has had such a universal, oh my god, why aren't we putting more money into this reaction than virtual reality. It's because of this I think that Facebook was so willing to pour $2 billion into Oculus for a future prospect without too much concern for the present. This is beginning to get into the unbelievable potential I cited as the second main strength of virtual reality. Those of you who have seen Sword Art Online, The Matrix, Dot Hack, Log Horizon, or read Ready Player One, Neuromancer, Snow Crash, and or experienced a variety of other virtual reality-related works, can probably already have a small idea of just how much better virtual reality can get than where it is right now. Funny thing is, it's probably going to be even better than what those works depict, as many of the possibilities of a medium aren't going to be fully understood until we get around to working with them. For those of you that don't have much familiarity with the concepts of virtual reality or have the imagination to see the potential, there are still signs that things are going well. The first simply is, who's playing in the VR game? Ever heard of Facebook, Google, Sony, Microsoft? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you probably have, and there are plenty of other billion and million-dollar companies all investing into virtual reality research and development. Think about that. VR has barely even entered in as a market, yet tech giants are already scrambling to get onto the ground floor. Why? Likely because of what VR represents, the effective final frontier of user-computer interaction. whatever monitor tech, sound tech, haptic tech, and other technology comes out in the future, the vast majority of it will eventually begin to revolve around its integration with virtual reality. Virtual reality is just that expansive. It can simulate other mediums within itself because it's the combination of every medium into one. Just look into its name. Virtual reality. A reality that is virtual. In other words, an entire universe where we are effectively the gods of what happens within it. Want to play games just the way you always do, though? Don't want to try out the new and expansive frontier? Eventually, VR will probably make you a better gamer by letting you react faster than you humanly can. In The Matrix, Neo learned Kung Fu via software. That's possible with VR of a high enough order. Even now, the immersion of most content far surpasses anything a conventional modder setup can possibly hope to approach. The lack of interaction methods, the screen door effect, missing sensory data, those are problems. But the beauty of VR is that it makes us see the problems and want to do everything in our power to rectify them. Sometimes we see a problem and figure, that's not worth the effort needed to solve it. But I found that VR creates a craving, a hunger, an obsession with reaching that greatness. Once you've enjoyed a good session with VR, it's hard to go back to the way things were before without thinking, how much better could this be with VR? I feel that this is an immediate, overwhelming gut feeling that you get when you try VR, and one that tells you, this is the future. That has probably won over so many of the people that have tried VR and has earned it so many patrons. Thanks to that patronage, and the passion VR has elicited in those who work on it, VR HMDs have been growing at a blazing fast pace. In 2.5 years, we've gone from a duct-taped prototype to the Crescent Bay unit, which apparently renders even my Pt.2 primitive by comparison. Any mediums that have the ability to so rapidly communicate what it can be to those who try it, in my opinion, can't possibly stay obscured for very long. That's probably a pretty good thing for business, wouldn't you say? Well then everyone, thank you very much for watching this video. Do remember to rate, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and to help support the channel. If you'd like to keep up to date on the channel's latest activities, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter at Markystal, or keep up with my blog, Virtual Dreamers, both of which are linked in the description. Again, thank you very much for watching this video. This has been Markystal, logging out.